Hi, I'm Shauna.
Hi, I'm Robert.
Come in and check out our tiny house. This is the bedroom. It is a first floor. When looking for a tiny house, that was one of the things that I was looking for, is one floor, only because I do have a dog, and so he wouldn't be able to go up and down like a ladder. So that was important to me. And then of course, if I'm gonna buy a house years down the road, I want it to be able to future-proof it in case, like I won't be able to go up and down stairs or up and down the ladder. So it's nice not to have to worry about that. I took out the 2 headboards that were on that wall, so you can only have the bed this one way, and it was going this way. And I didn't like that because I wanted to have a queen size bed, and if you did have one, there was no walk space. So we took those out, and I put the bed this way, so it's a queen size bed and it fits this way perfect. Instead, I put in this headboard. It has storage here. And then just, having some area for display and storage and plants. And then just, more display area, place to have my jewelry and storage. And then, of course, I have the big closet space for all my clothes. And I have it well organized. And then I got more drawer space here. And there's a little nook area. Didn't really know what to do with that space because it's a little high. So I just kind of made it more of a display space. The more I live in the space, I see how things function and how to store things better and how to organize it, to where I've been able to fit pretty much in everything that I love in the space. I don't feel like there's anything that I'm missing in the tiny house. I feel like everything fits. I really enjoy this space. It's nice and cozy, and that's why I chose the warm, terracotta, clay colors. I like laying here. I probably watch TV now in here more than I do even in the living room. I put a projector screen there. When I lower it, it actually also works as a blackout curtain, so the light doesn't come in the morning. It's very dark in here, so that works as a double plus on the projector. And also because of the way the room's laid out, there's not wall space, so that was perfect. Got that idea off of YouTube. I actually love this space. I wouldn't even want a bigger room. I think it's perfect size. When you first step in, I have this storage container here. It's usually for a closet, but I have it set up so I can have storage for my shoes. So that's handy, kind of like a little closet space almost. And then when you step in, I have my vintage lamps here with my kind of almost like an office cabinet, but it's a nightstand from IKEA, which we put hairpin legs on for extra storage. This is my day bed here that I'm using as a couch, also secondary sleeping area. Great for napping. It's really comfortable to lay down, watch TV on. I've had a few people over. I mean, you wouldn't want a whole crowd in here or anything like that. We've had Thanksgiving dinner and it's been fine. We make it all in the kitchen, we eat outside. So it's adequate space. With the extra chair, the ottoman, and the sofa, there's plenty of seating area. And then also with the 2 bar stools, you can turn them around if you wanted. So it's plenty of room. When you first move in, it's a little tricky to see what's gonna work and what doesn't. But I feel like just like in a regular house, you can change your mind and switch things out if it's not working. I feel like my space has really changed over time the way I'm using it. Even in a tiny house, you can switch things out as the space changes. The one misconception I think is a lot of people feel like you can't have a family or have a couple living in a tiny house. I feel like it's important the layout that you have. For me, this layout works. It's different for everybody, and I think it's limitless on what you want to have. And I feel like a lot of people think that there's no storage, but I think it's gonna have as much storage as you figure it out. This is a dresser that doesn't fit in the bedroom, so I'm using it as my sweatshirts, bigger clothes that I'm not gonna need right now. I have plenty of built-in cabinets. You can have built-in cabinets for storage. So I think that's the misconception with tiny houses, is you can't really live in it comfortably, but this is more comfortable, I feel like, than any of the homes that I've lived in or the apartment that I had previously. Overall, I love being able to sit here and have all the windows open, and there's a cross breeze. I have the upper windows that I open up for even more ventilation. It's nice and open and airy and bright with all the shades up, and I can see outside. I can see all my plants. I feel like there's a real feeling of being indoor outdoor, which I love. That's why one of the reasons also I love having this space instead of say, an apartment. And at night, we turn on the LED lights and candles, and it's a nice space after work. Even though I work right there, I try to change up the ambiance a little bit, so I feel like, oh, okay, it's time to relax. It's nighttime. Let's make dinner, walk the dog. So it's a nice feeling. I really enjoy living here. This is my work area. I work from home, and so I was able to incorporate this desk area. It fits perfect right here. I'm able to still walk through this area right here. Even when I'm sitting here, you can still walk through. It's really nice, and it's right next to the kitchen, right next to the coffee maker, and it's perfect. The systems that we work with, I have worked with too many, so I wouldn't be able to just work on the laptop. I have to have 2 monitors, because that way I can have apps on this one and have my email open on the other one. So it would be a little bit hard to set it up every day. If I wanted to, occasionally I could go outside and use just the laptop, but it's a little hard because the screen's really small. So that's why I don't work I usually don't move it, and I usually don't work outside or at the counter. It's usually just right here. But it's real easy to break down and set up. I've done that a few times. So this is the kitchen. The layout that I have right now is the layout that I feel most functional. It's got the U shape where the stove is right here, the refrigerators, and you can reach it. The sink is right here. This is basically what I had in the previous apartment that I had. The U shape works, and it's big enough to where you can move around and cook and chop, and people can still sit here. We put in the new stove. It is a propane stove. I use the stove part more than the oven. It's mostly pan storage in here because I have a toaster oven. I use that mostly, and I don't use this as much. The stove works really great. The hood works really awesome, and I love it. I actually love cooking. I cook every night. One of the most important things is have a nice kitchen, because I'm working from home and having a space to be able to make stuff and enjoy it while I'm doing so makes it more enjoyable. We put in the sink here, nice large sink. We put in a new faucet. We put in the floating shelves for all my knickknacks, mostly coffee cups because I love coffee. Got more storage down here under the sink for mostly cleaning supplies. The trash has a pull out. Then we have more storage down here for like plastic containers, stuff like that. I have like the pull-out drawers right here for silverware. My favorite part of the kitchen is the bar area. This is butcher block countertop we put in because it is a tiny place and there's no place to have a dining table. And in the apartment that I lived in had the bar area because it was smaller too, and I didn't have a dining space. So I was like, I need to have, and I used it a lot. So I was like, I need a bar area at least, so I have somewhere to eat. So it's perfect. I love it. So this is the new refrigerator I got. The only refrigerator that I could find that would fit in the space. That's why this happens to be this specific refrigerator, which I love it. It's really functioning. Has a big freezer space. This is more storage. They don't pull out, but it's more for like dry goods. This is where I keep like my toaster oven and my microwave. The toaster oven I use all the time. I love it. I have my dryer here, and then I have a portable washer in the shed that I just pull out and wash clothes and then just hang dry them. My espresso bar here that I made recently because I love coffee. And then there's more storage down here for more dry goods. Since there's not a whole lot of wall space because there's a lot of windows in this tiny house, we specifically didn't put any cabinets or any floating shelves on this, so I could put photos up on this wall and some art and some other things. And so I love that. I personally always loved the tiny house. I've always done research on them. I was looking for something to purchase and it's just unaffordable in this area that I live in. Tiny houses just seem the way to go. Even though it's a tiny space, I feel like the way you organize, it doesn't feel small. I found one like this for sale on the other side of the community, and I came and checked it out, but it had just sold. And so she said she had this one for sale, and this one I actually liked better, not because of the inside as much, but the yard space was awesome. And it's back here, it's actually in a little cul-de-sac and super friendly community.
It has all the right amenities. It has a pool, a jacuzzi, washer, dryer. Nice. They keep it really clean here. It's kind of like Almost like camping, like being out in the woods.
Kind of, yeah.
But not too far.
The home was listed at $89,900, but I got it for $79,900. I think it ended up being, with tax and everything, around $24,000 is what I put down on it. The lot rent is $988, but it's actually the cheapest I found in San Diego when looking at space rent. There was another manufactured home I was looking at that was 2-bedroom, not much bigger, but the lot rent was already $1,500 or something. So that didn't really make sense to me, because it's like how much higher is it gonna go? Still more affordable with the amount I put down. With the small mortgage I have in the space rent, it still makes sense. I put in some money with the kitchen renovation, but I knew that's why I tried to get the price down a little bit on it. It's hard to pinpoint exactly, because there was certain things like he would help me even do, and
we did all the labor, so that's
and the labor and buying tools. So, but just appliance wise and like countertop wise, and that I think it was around just $4,000, I think. So it wasn't too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. So I was renting a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was around $2,200 a month. No outdoor space, and that's one of the things too, is there's places to walk around here, so it's a good area to be in if you want to do things more outdoorsy.
It feels safe here too, compared to being like really close to the city.
Yeah,
I mean, we're still close enough to the city where it's like
a
15-20 minute drive, but
yeah, we're still close, but we're out. But here, I feel like it's in a safe community. Everybody knows each other. A lot of people that live here have lived here for years, and that's why I think it's more of a sense of a community. Now we're in the bathroom. I have my shower here. I didn't change anything about the shower. It's a nice space though. It's really nice and big. I just recently hung up like a drying rack in there that's up above the shower that folds totally away and open up for either drying my clothes or drying towels, so they're out of the way. They're not hanging here all the time. We did install this little display area here, the stone. We put that in, and then it had a mirror here, which I didn't really care for, so I painted this, installed the trim, and then hung this up for additional storage, just to get things up off the countertop so it's free of a bunch of clutter. And then with tiny houses, using, walls for storage or height for storage is nice. So we put these in so I can put all my oils, potions, lotions, like all of that. And then I have my towel storage here. We put this rack in. It's actually shoe storage, but we cut it so it fit there for towels and, extra toilet paper, stuff like that. I changed out all the lighting fixtures in the tiny house just to make it more, to update it. One thing I would really like to have would be a bathtub. And that might be something that I talk my friend into doing for me soon. For now, the shower works, but that's one thing that I would like to have. It's nice to be able to soak in a bathtub and relax. I do think tiny homes are a realistic, affordable solution for housing. I really love tiny houses. I think they're super cute, and just what you can do is limitless. If you wanted like a really small one, you can transport, you can do that. If you want a bigger one, you can do that. And even with the square footage, you can fit a lot.
You still live comfortably.
Yeah.
With everything you need.
Yeah, with everything you need in a small footprint, which is nice. Thank you for watching this video on my tiny house. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram at CanyonMoonTiny. Hopefully it gave you some great ideas on tiny house living.